Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Appreciate you being here today, stopping by to see what's on the agenda, how closely it resembles what's in the title. Sometimes that happens. But actually today should be a pretty good match. Wanted to talk a little bit about the dating apps and how it's sort of taken dating into a different direction where dates don't actually happen. I know that sounds weird, right? If you're having a different experience, you will be so happy to hear that you're not struggling like this. But for a lot of people, the dating apps have made dating something that they don't get to that point in the process anymore. And I had some thoughts about that and I wanted to share those with you. If this is something you're contending with, actually having dates take place, you're swiping, but you never get out there and meet anybody. If that's what's going on for you, I wanted to explain why. If it's not going on for you, you're avoiding this for some reason in Yahoo, maybe you want to understand why. Either of those situations, I hope you'll stick around. That's what's on the agenda right now. So I think I have an analogy for this dating situation we've been encountering that never ends in a date. And the analogy I've come up with has to do with shoes, because why not? Shoes are fun to talk about. Somebody has given me or you $1,000 to go buy one pair of shoes. Me, I guess, because I can't really predict what you're going to do. What would happen to you? I don't know if you'd be excited. I would be excited. I've never spent $1,000 on one pair of shoes. So I would be like, holy cow, I'm going to get a fancy pair of black heels that I will be able to wear with this dress that I've chosen, and I'll be able to wear it for numerous years. I will love these pair of black dress shoes, heels. I go to this fancy store and I peruse all their shoes and mostly focus in then on the heels. And there's so many beautiful pair of very expensive shoes there. And I'm excited about this. So after looking around, I have a couple pairs in mind, but I sit down and I take a seat. A salesperson comes over. I said, I'd like to see this pair in a 7.5. And also, could you bring me, I'm looking for a beautiful pair of black heels with probably a 3.5-inch heel. Can you bring me whatever else you think would be great for me? Oh, and it's got to be under $1,000. So I sit there and wait, and when the salesperson comes back, he brings me 20 pair of shoes. And he opens all the tops of the boxes and lays them all out in front of me. So I'm looking at the 20, but this pair I know wouldn't look great on me because I know I have a high instep. And this pair wouldn't look great because I have like a crazy baby toe that wants to slide off the shoe if it doesn't have a strap that holds it on. That one's got to go. And I narrow it down to 12. But it still feels super overwhelming to me. 12 pairs of shoes, and they're all just pretty, and I walk around in all of them, and I get rid of 2 more that aren't really comfortable. I have 10 pairs of shoes, and they're gorgeous, and they're all about $1,000. How do I decide? You know what's likely to happen in this shopping scenario? I'm likely to narrow it down to like 5, 7 maybe, and then say, you know what, I'm gonna think about this and I'll come back. And I'm likely to walk out and not purchase a pair of shoes that day. Because also in the back of my head, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? There's another awesome store that has beautiful dress shoes that I haven't gone to. And I haven't really looked online, and maybe I should try to be more frugal and I could buy a $2,000 pair that are now $1,000, barely worn if I were to go on one of the resale sites. So my mind's going to be working overtime, and I'm probably going to get overwhelmed and not end up with a beautiful pair of shoes immediately. That's scenario number 1. Now in scenario number 2, and yes, we're going to get to, I think you can see where this is going with how I'm going to turn this into our dating situation. But if not, let me finish because this is scenario number 2. So in scenario number 2, I'm holding up this one pair of black ankle straps that I know typically look really nice on me. And I say, if you think of any other shoes you think would look great on me, can you bring me, some more shoes to try on? In this scenario, the shoe guy comes back with 2 other pairs of shoes. So all I have in front of me are 3 pairs. This ankle strap I like, a pair that does a weird crisscross that I know like doesn't look flattering on my legs, so those are out of the equation. And I have a second pair of shoes that are really beautiful and pretty, and I try both of these on. I may try one on each foot, walk around, look at them in the mirror, which one like makes my leg look better, which one's more comfortable, which one's more versatile. I've got two to choose from. I'm gonna decide. Probably gonna pick the pair with the ankle strap that I saw and caught my attention. And I'm probably gonna go home and be really happy with that. I'm not going to be thinking about another store, and I'm not going to be thinking about maybe I should have gotten the pair with the red sole and for the status of that. I've got a beautiful pair that I love that caught my eye in the first place, that actually ended up looking good on me, that were within my budget, that will work for years. I'm a happy shopper. So that's my example of the paradox of choice as it pertains to shoes. It also applies to dating, which means there are a bunch of different dating apps. There are thousands of people age appropriate that we could swipe through on any of those apps. And the feeling that you may want to go to a different store, or that there's another pair of shoes out there that would be better at this price point with perhaps that red sole, is the fear of missing out, FOMO. And we have that as well when it comes to dating, that maybe there's a better pair out there for us somewhere. There's so many choices that it's hard to make a decision. That's the problem. This is the paradox of choice. It's hard to make a choice when you have so many choices to choose from. We talked about this a while back when I said we should date like Trader Joe's. Their marketing strategy was they didn't want anybody standing in the salsa aisle for 20 minutes saying, I can't decide. These all 8 of these sound amazing. Instead, they originally had like 2 or 3 salsas so that a person could say, nope, I don't like corn in mine. No, I don't like it hot. This is my salsa. And they'd actually walk out having purchased salsa instead of standing there going, I can't even deal with this today. I don't know which salsa I want. I'll just buy some guacamole at some other store. All right, so this paradox of choice is what's going on with dating, and I thought it was important that we at least be aware of it so that we can recognize it in ourselves, recognize it in other people, and maybe prevent ourselves from having that thought process that there's always going to be somebody else out there. There's probably going to be somebody better. If I don't actually make the effort to meet this person who I've spoken to a couple times, no big deal. I can just go back to swiping and wake up tomorrow and have 4 more matches. You're missing out on that part, the part about actually dating people, to getting to know somebody, and you're just stuck in that vicious circle of making matches but meeting nobody. You're just trying on shoes and never having a pair that you can wear to a special event and look gorgeous in that dress that you were waiting to wear. Don't get stuck with that paradox of choice. Realize that it's worth the effort of choosing, of picking. Figure out if that's the pair for you. And if it's not, you know what? You put in the effort, you tried, you took them home, you tried them on with the dress, you walked around in your bedroom, you took them out in the daylight, you took pictures of them and showed it to your friend and your daughter, and they said, nah, I don't really think those look like you, or I know you're never gonna wear them after one night with that height of the heel. But you made the leap, right? Make the leap with this person and figure out if there's somebody that you like, that you connect with. How unsatisfying is it to continue swiping and to never meet anybody because it's easier not to? Get rid of the FOMO and get out there and have a date. Take the initiative, be assertive, make it happen, and make a choice to do that and to be that person. Hey, I was thinking that maybe we should get out this weekend and actually meet in person. I could do coffee on Sunday afternoon if you're going to be free around 4 o'clock. If cocktails are more your thing, would you be interested in meeting me for a happy hour at like 6 o'clock after work? That would be amazing. If everybody on the dating apps took the initiative like that, they would be so worthwhile. They would be such a great use of our time, and we would meet so many people. And I would probably have fewer matchmaking clients, to be honest, because that's part of the key that makes the matchmaker so awesome. I make sure that a person shows up on that date, that you're not going to just show up or be driving there on the way and be ghosted, or get a text message that something came up and then never hear from this person again, or you text that first night for an hour and they're so witty and charming, and then the next day you're unmatched, they've disappeared, and you're like, what did I do? What happened? You've done nothing. That's the epidemic of the paradox of choice. What can you do? You can do what I said. Let me know if you're willing to give it a shot and be the person to make your dates happen. We could change this, but we've got to be confident enough to actually make that person make plans with us. Let me know if you think you can do it. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, you can hit that subscribe button, and then the ring bell notifies you every time I upload a new episode. I would appreciate that and look forward to having you back again soon. I appreciate you stopping by today. And until next time, have a good one.